Stoicism is a school of philosophy founded by Zeno in the 3rd century BC in ancient Greece, and had a great influence in the Roman Empire. This philosophy advises people to purify their passions, live in harmony with nature, and use reason as a guide to achieve happiness. Stoicism is not only a theoretical system of thought, but also a practical guide to life. Here are the basic principles of Stoicism, its history, and its effects today. Origin and history of Stoicism. Stoicism was founded in Athens in the 3rd century BC by Zeno of Cyprus. This philosophy was called Stoicism because Zeno gave his lectures in a stoa columned gallery. Stoicism began in ancient Greece, but developed further in the Roman Empire. Especially thinkers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius turned Stoicism into a practical philosophy of life. Basic principles of Stoicism. Stoicism preaches the paths one must follow to achieve happiness. Here are the basic principles of Stoicism. A. Controllable and uncontrollable things. The most fundamental teaching of Stoicism is that one can only control one's own thoughts, attitudes, and actions. What happens in the outside world, health, wealth, the opinions of others, is beyond our control. Stoics advise not to attach too much value to such things and to accept them. Epictetus said, "Some things are within our control, some things are not. What is in our control are our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. What we have no control over is health, wealth, and the opinions of others." B. Virtue is the highest good. Stoics see virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance as the highest good. External things such as material wealth, fame, or bodily pleasures are unimportant for true happiness. Stoicism advocates focusing on one's inner values and living a virtuous life. Seneca says in this regard, "Wealth, fortune, and fame do not make one happy. True happiness comes from living a virtuous life." C. Living in harmony with nature. Stoics believe that the universe is in a rational order. Man can achieve happiness by living in accordance with this natural order. Harmony with nature also means living a virtuous life. Stoicism advises people to live in accordance with universal reason, logos. Marcus Aurelius says in this regard, "Live in accordance with universal nature," which means accepting things as they are and following the path nature has laid out for you. Control of emotions. Stoicism argues that passions, excessive desires, and fears lead people to unhappiness. Emotions should be controlled and balanced by reason. Stoics think that emotions such as anger, fear, and sadness make people weak and unhappy. Seneca says the following about anger. "Anger is a temporary madness of the mind. Controlling it is a sign of true power." E. Accepting death. Stoics argue that death is inevitable and should not be feared. Death is a natural process, and accepting it brings peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius said the following about death. "Death is part of nature. Accepting it makes life more meaningful." Stoicism remains popular today, especially in the fields of personal development, leadership, and psychology. Stoic principles inspire us. Modern man is guided by the practical advice of Stoicism to cope with stress, focus, and find inner peace. Stoicism is a philosophy that advises people to purify their passions, live in harmony with nature, and use reason as a guide to achieve happiness. This philosophy advocates accepting what one cannot control and focusing only on what one can control with one's own will. Stoicism is not only a system of thought, but also a practical guide to life. By adopting Stoic principles, one can find inner peace and live a meaningful life. Translated with deepl.com version.